Good day, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The title of my research today is the leadership style that drive motivation at the workplace. So firstly, I'll go to the introduction. So Abdul Kayyam and Javed define leadership as the ability to increase a group's performance towards their vision or goal or set of goals. Also, R. Pekel Arini described leadership as the belief to be of a special importance in improving intrinsic motivation at the workplace. So we go to the background of the studies. Leadership style is a factor that plays a significant role in enhancing the commitment of the individuals in the organization. An individual will support will support in an organization if he or she believes that through it or a personal objective and goals could be met. If not, the person will interest will not be inclined to the organization. So leadership styles differ from one person to the other. Even in the organization, leadership style within yourself, the way you behave to other people is different from the other way people behave on you. So in this, so programs, pro, so for problem statement is an argument in a thesis which is being analyzed and solved. So with problem statement, the first one in the current COVID-19, we noticed that the performance in leadership, the performance of employees have reduced because of the COVID, and also the question is that will it take long before the the performance improve? Yes or no? So we may find out in the research methodology. So problem statement, the importance of the employee satisfaction in the corporate world cannot be overemphasized, especially at this area of the uncertainty whether there is an intense competition on health rivalry. According to Sanders 2007, the sources of employees' job satisfaction included the salary inadequate and conflicting. So the objectives of this study, I want to explore the different types of leadership styles that drive motivation. So there are different types of leadership styles, which is the autocratic, the democratic, transformation, transitional, uh, laissez-faire. But in this instance, I'm going to look at transition, transactional leadership and transformation leadership. So I also want to know the leadership style that motivates to work in the how leadership style and motivation work in hand to improve the performance in the workplace. And also, if you go to the research question, the research question will help you to design your methodology. So for the research question, we're going to look at what are the determinants and the factors for leadership styles and motivation. Why is it necessary for leadership style to drive motivation at the workplace? So when it comes to my hypothesis, you can see the diagram that you can see motivation, leadership, organization, culture, work satisfaction, performance. Motivation in this, when you go to the organization, motivation in the sense that they give you an incentive for working hard. So you'll be motivated to improve the performance in the workplace. Leadership can be it means to lead, to guide. Organizational culture has to do with diversity, the way different people from different aspects are coming together to communicate to each other. For work satisfaction, I chose it as my mediator so that for work satisfaction is talking about the volume of work, how satisfied are the people in the workplace. So work satisfaction and performance. So yeah, motivation has a direct link to performance. In the same way, motivation goes through work satisfaction to give performance. In the same way, leadership style also goes through work satisfaction to improve performance. Organization culture goes through work satisfaction to also improve performance, and also has a direct positive link to performances. Now, the variables, when you look at it, you see that there's the dependent variable, which is the performance. You see the independent variable, which is leadership, motivation, and organization. And the mediator for this is the direct satisfaction. So, mediator is a communication between two links between it's a communication channel between the dependent and the independent. So, work satisfaction my my mediation. So, for job work satisfaction and employee satisfaction is a measure of workers' contingency with their jobs, whether they like the job or the individual aspects like the job. So this is talking about the nature of the work and the supervision. Now we come to the significance of this study today. So we need to know the importance of this study and the purpose for this study. So for significance, previous studies are focused on underlying the model and specific type of the framework of motivation and environment in this field. Previous studies are also looked at the leadership styles, concepts, and leadership improvement. But my aim is to attract the leaders so that they can identify the leadership style which suits the generate motivation so that it improve the performance at the workshop at the website. So we have some underpinning theories. And some underpinning theories are the great man theory, the trait theory, the participative theory, behavior theory, relationship theory, and contingency theory. So the great man theory talks about talks that leaders are born, not made. Then also it talks about the charisma, intelligence, the wisdom, and others part of the perimeter. And also the trait theory talks about it's a branch of the great man theory which talks about the specific traits of an individual. Contingency theory talks about the leadership style, that leadership style is correct as it stands alone. Then we go to the behavior theory, talks about the behaviors, it focuses on the behaviors of the leaders, the characteristics that they oppose. Then the relationship participative theory talks about the best leaders, what they have to input in the leadership style. Then we move to the research methodology. So research methodology, in the research approach, I'm going to use the mixed method, which is both the quantitative and qualitative approach. So the qualitative, I'm going to be using the survey. While the quantitative, I'll be using the survey. Qualitative, I'll be using a table based on the interview that I've done with the managers, and also for the design research, the design part, we are looking at the population. The population is not yet determined because I've not yet finalized what the sample size. I've not yet finalized the population because it's because I'm now going to work in a different country. So the population now is unspecified because it varies, and I might be looking at one or two companies, and I'm not getting the particular company that I'm going to. I've gotten a particular company, but I'm not getting the particular, like, I've not gotten different companies because I'm going to look at two or three companies to do the interview and survey with. And my sample size is going to be 20, and my sampling method, I'll be using the ordinal scale and I'll be using the nominal scale, where I'll be taking the demographics of the people. Then then I'll not be using probability or non-probability in this. I'll be using mostly probability, but I'll not be using non-probability in this case, especially when it comes to the answers to the survey. Then for my data collection, I'm going to use the ordinal. Then the cost, I'm going to use the longitudinal because the time difference and it varies for a very long time of periods for people to answer. And my limitations in this is going to be the conceptual and the geographical, because with the conceptual, I'll not be able to get a lot of people to answer. And in the geographical, because of the different time zones, it will be difficult for me to get a lot of people to answer. Then for my data analysis, I'm going to be using correlation and multiple regression for the hypothesis testing. So when I do the regression, I find the average sample size, yes, for the data analysis. So that will be the end of my presentation.